SkyTour News for May 27th. I'm Amanda Curran. Today, in 1931, Auguste Piccard launches himself into Earth's upper atmosphere. Showing an intense interest in science as a child, Auguste Piccard attended the Swiss Federal Institution for Technology in Zurich and became a professor of physics in Brussels at the Free University of Brussels in 1922. In 1930, an interest in ballooning and a curiosity about the upper atmosphere led him to design a spherical, pressurized aluminum gondola that would allow ascent to great altitudes without requiring a pressure suit. Supported by the Belgian Fonds National de la Recherche Scientifique, Piccard constructed his gondola. An important motivation for his research in the upper atmosphere were measurements of cosmic radiation, which were supposed to give experimental evidence for the theories of Albert Einstein, whom Piccard knew from the Solvay conferences and who was a fellow alumni of the ETH. Auguste Piccard and Paul Kupfer took off from Augsburg, Germany, on this date in 1931 and reached a record altitude of 51,775 feet. During this flight, Piccard was able to gather substantial data on the upper atmosphere as well as measure cosmic rays. Popular Science described their journey in an article that August. Piccard ultimately made a total of 27 balloon flights, setting a final record of 75,459 feet. Today in 1958, Vanguard SLV-1 was launched for Earth orbit. Also called Vanguard Satellite Launch Vehicle 1, Vanguard SLV-1 hoped to be the second successful flight of the American Vanguard rocket following the success of the Vanguard 1 satellite, with the aim of putting into orbit the Vanguard 2B satellite, a Lyman Alpha satellite, with a magnetosphere measurement device. Launched today in 1958 from Launch Complex 18A at the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, the rocket was unsuccessful in its attempt to place the unnamed satellite into Earth orbit, as there was an improper third-stage trajectory, thus the satellite failed to achieve orbit. The underlying cause of the error is unknown, and it was a major setback in the space race between the US and Soviet Union. The rocket reached an apogee of 2,200 miles. Today in 1999, the launch of STS-96. Launched from Kennedy Space Center, Florida, today in 1999, STS-96 was a space shuttle mission to the International Space Station flown by the Space Shuttle Discovery and was the first shuttle flight to dock with the International Space Station. STS-96 was a logistics and resupply mission for the International Space Station, carrying the Space Hab Double Module, 13th Space Hab overall. The Discovery carried to the ISS an integrated cargo carrier with parts from the Russian cargo crane Strela, which was mounted to the exterior of the Russian station segment, as well as the student-tracked atmospheric research satellite for heuristic international networking equipment, known as Starshine. It also carried the Shuttle Vibration Force Experiment and the Orbiter Integrated Vehicle Health Monitoring HEDS technology demonstration. The purpose of the Starshine mission was to train international student volunteer observers to visually track this optically reflective spacecraft during morning and evening twilight intervals for several months, to calculate its orbit from shared observations, and derive atmospheric density from drag-induced changes in its orbit over time. The crew landed safely June 6, 1999, after 9 days and 19 hours in space. This is SkyTour News. I'm Amanda Curran.